Are you curious how to understand gambling talk and ROI, or return on investment? Curious about bankroll management and what a unit is in sports betting? I'm your host, Gary Segars, and this is BetUS TV. The majority of sports bettors are casuals, people that wager on events for fun without really paying attention to whether or not they're earning a profit over the long haul. If you want to learn how to actually profit on sports betting, setting a bankroll and learning about unit size is incredibly important. On today's show, I'll be teaching you the definition of a unit so you can begin to profit as a bettor. Just what it sounds like, a bankroll is the amount of money you're planning on spending on sports gambling over a predetermined amount of time, whether that be weeks, months, or even just a season. Basically, your bankroll is your budget. If you've only got $200 to bet between now and your next paycheck, that $200 is your bankroll. The bankroll is a way to stay responsible with your gambling. This is where the term chasing enters for sports betting. The best advice an experienced gambler will give you is to not chase bets, which means, basically, don't go deeper in the hole to try and win back what you've lost. If you lose your entire bankroll in just a day or two, it's likely best to take a break and not go dipping into life savings or going into debt to try and get back that initial investment. A unit in sports betting is a set amount that you'll wager on each game or event. Typically, for professional bettors, it's around 1%, but it can vary. Units are a common way to track your bets and compare profits without putting an actual dollar value on it, as not everyone is going to bet the same amount on every game. For example, if your initial bankroll is $1,000, 1% of that would be $10, so your unit size would be $10. If you want to bet 2% per wager, that would be $20. You can look at it this way. If your unit size is 1% on a bankroll of $1,000, and you only bet one unit on each game, you have 100 bets that you can lose without winning a single bet before your bankroll is completely gone. If your unit size is 2%, you have 50 bets you can make before your initial investment runs out. When you've heard handicappers talk about putting 5 units on a game, it's as easy as it sounds. If their unit size is $10, they're putting $50 on that specific bet. It's a way to compare how confident some users are in specific bets that they make. Betting 5 units on one game, but only 1 unit on another game, would typically mean that a person is 5 times more confident in the result of the 5-unit bet than they are in a normal wager. Now, you may also notice people that bet less than a unit on some events. A lot of times that comes into play with parlays, futures, etc. Anything that could have longer odds, thus less probability of actually hitting. For example, prior to a golf or tennis tournament, most every competitor will have plus odds, whether it's plus 160 or plus 1600. You may like the chances for several different players to win the tournament. Rather than betting an entire unit on each one, you can assess the risk, realizing only one of those bets will hit, and you could wager just a quarter unit or a half unit on multiple long shots with the hope that one of them wins and pays out more than 1 unit. But if you bet a quarter unit on 4 players and none of them wins, you're only out 1 unit as opposed to 4. The risk isn't as great with smaller bets, but there is still a chance for profit. To recap, here are some of the things that we've learned today. A bankroll is effectively your budget for a predetermined amount of time in sports betting. A unit is the size of your common bet and is typically based on your bankroll. Common unit size is 1% of your bankroll, but it can be higher or lower. Assessing risk leads to how many units you bet on each event or game, whether it's only a quarter unit on a future or multiple units on a game in which you're incredibly confident. We hope this has helped you understand units and bankroll in sports betting. To bet on all the biggest sporting events, make sure to sign up at BetUS, where the game begins, and stay tuned to BetUS TV for more how-to videos on sports gambling.